Hi, my name is Deborah. This is the Edit by DH. Welcome to another video. Today's video is all about Lisa Eldridge. You guys know I have been reviewing Lisa Eldridge from the beginning and I am a huge fan. However, I try not to let that cloud my reviews. I try to give you always a transparent and my honest thoughts on the products, the launches, etc. So today will be no different. Today's video will be all about the new seamless eye pencils. I know that lots of people have probably already reviewed it and you've probably already seen many reviews on it or videos on it, but I didn't want to rush releasing a video because I think anyone can do that. I really wanted to take time to try it out first, do a little wear test, pre-wear test should I say, and give you some thoughts based on, having more information already. From my last Velveteen video, you guys were so complimentary about the colour Affair, which for me, I didn't think it suited me, but so many of you kindly commented and said that it suited me. So I listened to you. I've got Affair on today. As you can see, I don't really have any eye makeup on. The only thing I've got is a little bit of liner in my waterline, my upper waterline. What I decided to do was give you more information about the eyeliner and the launch first, before then showing you swatches and then giving you my sort of first impressions, etc. I will obviously also apply it on camera as well. So there's a lot to get through. I even initially considered doing a comparison video to another brand. However, it would just end up being a really long video, so I will do that separately. I will compare the two separately, whether that's a video, whether that's a post, I'm not sure. But on that note, if you're not following me on Instagram already, then please do follow me. All my details are linked up above in my description bar as well. And if you are here for the first time, then welcome. I review Lisa Eldridge a lot. If you are a Lisa Eldridge fan, you're on the right video, you're on the right channel, because I review all her launches. So if you're a big fan of hers, then please do give me a follow. So like I said, her launch is 6 new eye pencils and they cost £24 for 1.2 grams of product. Now, I don't know if you guys were expecting this. Maybe she announced it somewhere or gave a clue or a hint like she often does. However, I wasn't expecting it at all. I genuinely thought it would be complexion, for example, concealers, because we all know they're coming. It's just a matter of when. But I guess it does make sense for her to bring out eye pencils because she's already got her eyeshadows, both liquid and powder. So I guess eye pencils are the next natural step. And then I feel like a mascara is definitely, or must definitely be on the horizon, because then you're completing the full eye look. So I am intrigued to know what's coming out. I also know from the clues her team have given that she's also bringing out a face powder, which again makes absolute sense. I think when you bring out products like an eyeshadow, the natural next steps are eyeliner, mascara, maybe even a primer, like I said. When you bring out complexion products like the foundation that she has, it's only natural to bring out a tinted moisturizer, a concealer and face powder. So again, I'm not necessarily surprised. It's just a matter of when. I believe her next drop is in October. So the point is, I wasn't expecting eye pencils. I was expecting them as a launch at some point, but not necessarily her next launch, if that makes sense. So she's got 6 in total, and I will just go through them and I will show you my swatches first before I give you a bit more information. So instead of doing live swatches, not that there's anything wrong with them, I just thought it's more accurate if I show you on screen in natural light with no filter up close, so you can even see all my dark spots and wrinkliness on my hand, just so that you know it's definitely not photoshopped. So starting with the darkest color, which is Black Treacle. It's described as a classic black matte. Then there is Ground Coffee, which is described as a neutral deep brown matte. Burnt Umber, which is a rich warm matte brown. So far you've noticed they're all matte so far. Then there is Night Forest, which is described as the deepest green with blue and green pearl. So that's not matte. Cinder Smoke, which is a cool grey with a subtle pearl, again not matte. And then last but not least, it's Renaissance Gold, which is a blackened metallic gold with cool champagne pearls. So again, not matte. So there are 3 sort of pearlescent or shimmery pencils, and then there are 3 mattes, so you've got a mixture of both. I will also show you all the colors together so you get an idea of what they look like side by side. Like I said, was originally planning on doing a comparison video, but then this is really all about Lisa Eldridge and I don't want to bring another brand into it, so I will definitely do a comparison brand. I won't mention the brand just now, but if you guys have an inkling or an idea of what brand I might be comparing it to, then comment down below. So it is described as the eyeliner of dreams, a luxurious, unbelievably silky smooth, long-wearing gel eye pencil with intense color payoff, with a luxurious, almost liquid feeling, allowing for 40 seconds of playtime before setting to a budge-proof, waterproof and fade-resistant finish that will last all day with 16-hour proven wear. Suitable for the lids, lash line and waterline, infused with soothing chamomile flower extract. The formula smooths color comfortably across the lid, hugging the lash line in pure, rich color. This is your dream soft kohl pencil that sets and stays put. Available in 6 addictive shades from velvety matte to lustrous metallic. And then it just says, seamless glide eye pencils can be sharpened with any good cosmetic eye pencil that fits the pencil. So the hero ingredient is infused with soothing chamomile flower extract, and the formula smooths color comfortably across the lid, hugging the lash line in pure, rich color. As always, I recommend and highly recommend you guys look at the ingredients list, especially if you have sensitive eyes, which I know many of you do. And I know many of you will maybe a little bit worried if you want to or have any ideas of putting this on your waterline, then absolutely have a look at the full ingredients list. I did, however, read from the Lisa Eldridge team that this product is ophthalmologist tested, so it's technically suitable and safe for the eyes, including sensitive eyes, where you can wear it on the eyelids, in the waterline, etc., and it shouldn't irritate, including those with contact lenses. I am a contact lens wearer myself, so I can tell you that I tried it on and there were no issues. But obviously, like I said, if you have sensitive eyes, you can be extra mindful by reading the ingredients list. So I'm going to just do a quick eye look before I give you my true thoughts on my first impression and longevity, etc. I only used it as an eyeliner and like an actual liner and in my waterline yesterday, which I'll let you know more about in just a moment. But I haven't used it as like a full eye look where I'm using it as eyeshadow as well, and I thought I would do that because you can absolutely use it as eyeshadow. Now I'm going to properly prep my eyelid. I already have a little bit of setting powder on my eyes, but I'm just going to go in with more. Before I do that, actually, I will apply a primer. So I'm going to apply a little bit of the Nars Tinted Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base. This is just it's just a classic. I'm using the shade Light. By the way, everything I'm using will be linked, all of it will be linked down below. So you can absolutely use your fingers or go in with a brush, it doesn't really matter. For those of you who have like dry lids or dry skin around your lids and eyes, should I say, you don't need to do this step because I feel like it will only just dry out your skin more. But if you have like oilier eyelids, then I would 100% recommend doing this step first. Then I'm going to go in with my trusted Charlotte Tilbury powder. You can see it's well loved. I'm just going to set the base. Now, sometimes you have to be careful when doing this just because it's like you're applying a creamy product on top of a powder, but I need all the help I can get when it comes to longevities, and then under my lower lashes as well. Then there's no excuse for anything to budge or move. So that should technically be bulletproof. These are the pencils. The end, you get an idea of what shade it is here with the ring of color. And then obviously her font is in gold, which is her signature font color. Seamless glide eye pencil, and then the shade underneath. And then it's just like a regular pencil. You can see that I've used it. It's not a twist up. So that's what it looks like. Now, after having tried these colors, well, actually I tried black treacle, which is the darkest matte black. I had a look at all the shades and I thought I would start with the ground coffee, which is the matte brown. I think actually ground coffee is like the perfect color to describe it. Burnt umber there's more warmth to it and it's a lighter shade than ground coffee. They're both sort of in the brown family, but I like the coolness of the ground coffee. So that's what I'm going for. And instead of applying directly, I would rather just apply with a brush first. So I'm just going to apply it to the back of my hand. So that's how it looks when it first goes on. It's very, very wet, for want of a better word. It's a very unique formula. I've never experienced anything like it. It almost feels like a liquid liner, but a creamier version. I think when you initially apply it, you just have to be a bit careful because, like it said in the description, there's like a 40-second setting period. So I'm just going to apply this as my base. I'm working from home today, by the way, and I am only going out later to the gym. So this is going to be a bit of a glam eye look for the gym, but hey ho. I'm using, by the way, a Katie Jane Hughes eye makeup brush for my shadow. I will include all the links down below. And then I'm using Lisa Eldridge's number 14 brush just to gently buff it out. What you might be interested to know is when I used to work for Nars, their signature smoky eye makeup look was always rounded rather than that cat eye. So yeah, it would be a rounded smoky eye. That was like the classic thing. And of course, because we worked at Nars, they would use this eyeshadow primer base. At the time, there was only one, which was like the clear one. Now they have like a tone to it. So it's like light, medium, dark, whatever the shade names are. But actually something that the Nars team always used to do, I don't know if they still do it, is go in with an eyeliner pencil, especially a brown one, because it made the powders just adhere to the eyeliner even better. Like it made the powder adhere to your eyelid even better, and then you'd already have this sort of like dark base, and then when you then pat the powder on, it just helped with longevity and all of that jazz. So that's a tip and trick if you guys are confident with smoky eye looks. Wanted to share that with you. They always used a pencil. It was obviously a lot less creamy than this, but they always used a long wearing brown pencil in Nars. So I'm going in with ground coffee, like I said. So the formula has already started to dry, so I'm just going to go in again with the same color. Now I always like a bit more of a feline finish, so I'm just gonna clean up underneath and just create like an angle for later on, so you can see the color as a base. Then I'm going to go in with the Renaissance Gold pencil, and I'm just literally going to use it on top of the ground coffee. So I'm just going to go with my finger and see if that works. And because it's got a bit more of a sparkle in it, it's really pretty. So I've got a bit of the Renaissance Gold on top, but very subtle. So color wise, it's not too different from the ground coffee, as in at first glance, but obviously you have the shimmer from the Renaissance Gold. Then I'm gonna put a little bit of the Renaissance Gold underneath, just a tiny bit, and smudge it out with my finger. If you've got smaller eyes, I wouldn't apply the like darkest shades on your lower lashes or even in your waterline, because it can close up the eye. That's why I applied a little bit of the Renaissance Gold underneath and just a little bit, and just smudged it out. So it just looks like a soft smoke more than anything else. Then I had an idea to go in with one of the deeper colors and do an eyeliner. Now I feel like it makes sense for me to just go back in with the ground coffee rather than a new color, because it's still within that kind of family of colors or color theme. As you know, this is not a twist up, it's a pencil, so you do need to sharpen it. Now when you normally sharpen pencils, they go down very, very quickly, especially if you use them every day, especially if you like a precise point. That's the only thing about pencils that I'm not as keen on versus like a liquid liner or a gel liner, where you use a gel and a brush to do a really slick line, because I am a fan of like really slick liners. And obviously if any of you have watched the Lisa Eldridge Seamless Glide eye pencil video, you would have seen that she made it look so easy. But trust me, unless you're really confident with your eye makeup or you have some knowledge in doing like eyeliners, it will be very challenging. Sometimes when you watch Lisa Eldridge's videos, she makes things look so easy, but you have to remember that she is like a very, very qualified expert makeup artist that has been in the industry for years. So she's honed her skills. Considering how wet this eyeliner is, and I know many people struggle to do a very defined eyeliner look with just a pencil, I want to give you a tip that will make it easier for you, and hopefully will make it easier for you. It's what helps me. So instead of sharpening it all the time to get that tip, what I tend to do is I'll do a liner where it's not, well, it's still relatively blunt, as you can see, to create that line. That's not, you don't need a sharp tip for that, if that makes sense. But when it comes to doing the wing on either side, that's when you need the sharpness, right? So let me do the line first. So you literally just follow your lash line. It's not rocket science, literally just keep close to your lash line and use your lash line as the base and guide. Okay, easy peasy. Now I am mindful that it's like a 40-second setting time is needed, so let me just sort of like do this with my eyes and look like a very sleepy badger. So now to get the tip, what you want to do is get like a tissue paper, and I tend to keep these for ages because you can create so many lines. You don't do it one time and throw it in the bin. Just gently draw a line and just stick to one side like this, just gently. And then what you'll find is you've now developed a tip. Can you see? An angle. It's even more effective when you have more of a pencil, more of a lead there. But you can see that there is a bit of a tip. So I then use that to go in. You can see that line. Like that. If I want to be extra perfectionist, I go in with these Muji cotton bud tips and you just clean it up. So then when you look in the mirror, they should be pretty, they don't have to be perfect. They're pretty much the same angle. Then even if it's slightly blunt, it doesn't matter because you then fill in the gap like a bridge. And like I said, if you want to be a real perfectionist, just keep these Q-tips on hand and just neaten it up. This is why I always do my eye makeup first before my base, because if you rub off your concealer, it doesn't matter, you have nothing, like you can start from scratch. You can just wipe underneath your eyes after you've done your eye makeup, and then you can just do a fresh base, and then you won't get any fallout, you won't get any smudging, etc, etc, or you won't need to reapply your concealer. But for today's video, because I knew I was doing this video, I did my base first and then I'm finishing with my eyes. So there you go, that's the liner done. It's not perfect, but it will do. So you can still create a sort of feline flick and cat line by using a pencil and without sharpening it. Now, let me just quickly put on some mascara and then I will give you my verdict as well as give you other information. Okay, so I have just completed my eye look, just adding a bit more powder, like setting powder and a mascara to my eyes. So that is the final look. I hope it translates well on camera because in real life it looks pretty good. My impressions. Now let me talk about my first impressions. So I tried on black Treacle, which is the complete matte black, and like I said, it goes on very, very wet at first. I was so surprised at how wet it was, and instantly I knew that was like a good and a bad thing. So it's good because, like Lisa says in her description, it really just glides on, it hugs the lids. It's so easy to do a liner, like it doesn't drag on the skin basically. However, if it's too wet, if you're not good with eyeliners, it's just a recipe for disaster. The only thing I can compare it to is like a glossy red lip. So really with a red lip, you want it to be matte, you want it to stay, but the glossier it is, like, goes everywhere. And that's exactly what can happen with like a wet sort of eyeliner. And I think that's why a lot of people who aren't confident with eyeliners tend to avoid liquid liners for that very reason. But anyway, I decided to go for black Treacle over any other shade because I just find from my experience that black rather than brown tends to transfer more easily. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because it's more darker pigmented, I'm not sure, but it tends to smudge and transfer more. So I thought if I apply black Treacle and it stays, then you know it's good, because that's the color that I always have more issues with than any other color. And that's why I tend to kind of gravitate towards browns or dark browns. And just to explain, my eyelids are a little bit more on the oilier side, but not like super oily. And I think it's something that's kind of developed over the last few years, because it never used to be like that. I never used to have oily eyelids. I do tend to just powder my eyelids as a natural thing every day. I don't tend to wear primers, because almost every single eye product that I have, whether it's a mascara, an eyeliner, eyeshadow, they just tend to be long wearing. So I tend to find that I don't need a primer. Now, I applied Treacle as my eyeliner, and I applied it in my upper waterline because it is safe, as she says, to apply it in the waterline. By the way, I waited that 40-second period, in case anyone's wondering. I didn't do anything, I didn't touch my eyes, I just left it to just set and dry, and it did. And by the way, when it dries down, it goes completely matte. So although it's wet looking, it dries completely matte, in case any of you are curious. Within, I would say, under an hour, I noticed there was a little bit of transfer, like kind of like underneath my eyes, a bit on my lid, just a bit, and I kind of left it. I didn't wipe it, I just left it. A few hours later, I looked at my eyes and I was so shocked because there was so much transfer. I literally looked like a panda with all the transfer. So it was like not only like a little bit, like a lot had smudged under my eyes, almost as if I'd been crying and done like this, like scrunched my eyes type transfer. And on top as well, it was really bad. And then trying to remove it initially with just like a basic wet cloth, like a wet wipe, because at the moment, like I wasn't in my bathroom, I just quickly tried to wipe it off. It wasn't coming off well. So that's where the longevity kicked in, but then not like to actually stay where I had originally placed it on my eyes, if you know what I mean. Had that been my video and my first impression, it would have been a bit unfair. So I decided that I would, in today's video, really prep and prime my eyes. I even reached out to the Lisa Eldridge team to ask for their tips, because I thought that that might help you guys in case any of you are having the exact same issues as me. And they pretty much said everything that I know to do. So funnily enough, they recommended the same Nars. Apparently Lisa's suggestion is the Nars smudge proof base and some powder to set it, and then put the eyeliner on. And then, you know, I did mention, like, I can do that on my eyelids, but I can't exactly prime my waterline, right? And then they said it shouldn't really happen, that's what they said, but if it smudges, then try out these tips, and then just let us know how you get on. I've done that now, so let's see how it lasts. I will definitely check in again at the end of today for a check-in, a wear test, to see how it lasted this time with my eyes properly prepped. The thing is, and just to give you an idea, my eyelids are on the slight oilier side, but I wouldn't say I have oily eyelids, because that's the first question they asked me. So that then makes me feel like, okay, if you have oily eyelids, they're not long wearing, if you know what I mean. And just for your information, I've used eyeliners across the board since I was 13 years old, and it was probably one of the worst smudging cases I've had. Now that's fair enough. I understand it's cold, I understand it's softer, I understand all these things, but when you say that something is, I can't remember the exact wording, but like budge resistant, or, you know, they even said waterproof or transfer resistant, that's where I then have an issue, because it wasn't transfer proof on me. And like I said, it's not that I have extremely oily eyelids, I just have slight oily eyelids. So if on my eyes it moved, then somebody who's got oilier or completely oily eyelids is going to move on you. And if it doesn't, what magic are you using? Because please let me know. So that's why I thought it would be fair to do another wear test, but this time fully prepped. Another thing to say is, like, I'm that kind of person, and I don't know if you guys are the same, where I'm like a one and done kind of person. Like, I want to apply my makeup in the morning or whenever I apply it, and I kind of don't want to touch it up. I've got things to do. I've got busy days. I've got things to do, I've got things to get on. And I'm not the type of person to check my reflection in the shop windows, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just not me. Like, I don't have thoughts to check in on my makeup. And the occasions that I do during the day, my face will be very shiny, like on my T-zone, the normal areas. And by the way, only on days where it's like warm. It won't be like in the winter time. But like, especially my T-zone will be oily, but overall I have actually very dry skin. My skin type is dry to very dry. I have eczema as well, just to give you an idea. my skin is very dry. That's why I rarely get breakouts. Only time of the month, which is TMI, but time of the month, I'll get 1 or 2 spots max, like one there or around my mouth. Otherwise, my skin rarely gets spots because I have a drier skin type. And so my point is, I'm the type of person, like, I want to apply my makeup in the morning, especially my eye makeup, and then I don't want to have to faff around with it. Fair enough, I can just remove a little smudge there or a smudge here, smudge there, but I don't want to have to be like, oh my god, I have to remove my entire makeup and start again. Obviously, I'm used to seeing my face where I need to powder, but generally my eyes stay put throughout the day. So that's why I think I was so surprised when I saw Lisa Eldridge's pencil and how it had performed. But I don't want to say that it's a bad pencil or not long wearing, I guess, because like I said, I didn't use like the appropriate prep methods. So that's why I wanted to give it another fair chance today. And for your information, I normally in my waterline, I wear the Chanel, I think it's called the Stylo gel pencil, you know, the gel liner where you like twist it up, and I just use like the matte brown one and it doesn't smudge on me. Obviously Bobbi Brown, Nars liners, all of them I've used because I used to work for both brands, so they either didn't smudge at all or there was like barely any smudging. That's what I'm sort of comparing it to, and that's my expectation when I hear language like waterproof, budge resistant, transfer resistant, etc. So let's see. I would love to know how you guys have gotten on with it and what your impressions have been, and more so from those who haven't. It's not like someone who's tried it on for an hour. I'm talking like for a full day. Especially, I'm not talking about Renaissance Gold, because shades like that are shimmery and lighter, trust me, they tend to wear longer. But I'm talking about like black treacle, ground coffee colors. Like, people have worn those all day and in the waterline. Tell me, like, how has it lasted on your eyes? Because if they've been absolutely fine and you've had no smudges whatsoever wearing it all day, there's clearly, my eyes are clearly defective. So I would love to know, please comment down below. I would also love to know your thoughts on it being a normal pencil and not a twist up. Does that appeal to you? Does it not? Etc. Actually, I have one very exciting announcement to give at the end of this video. Almost there. One last thing before that. Gift with purchase. So I've noticed several times, I don't select her gift with purchases, by the way, because normally, well, I say gift with purchases, so normally you get the free or complimentary sample cards of the foundations. I think you can choose to tick it at the end of your order when you check out. I never tick it because there's no point. I've used her foundation before. The last, I think, 2 orders, she's given a sample of her treatment cleanser, which I already have. But I think it's nice for those who haven't tried her like skincare before and would like to, so that's a good idea. Before, Lisa Eldridge used to include complimentary makeup bags, and I felt like it was part of the experience. Like, I've gathered a little collection of her makeup bags from the dark, gorgeous emerald one. Every time I bring that emerald makeup bag out, whenever I use it, I get so many compliments. I love the navy royal blue type color, the gorgeous red one. They all look so luxurious and plush, so decadent. And then there was like the pink one, the fun one. I think there was a floral one. There's been so many different beautiful makeup bags, and she hasn't done one in a while, correct me if I'm wrong. So you either had the option to buy it, or if you had a minimum spend, she would include it as a free gift. And again, I kind of missed that. I don't know whether it's because she hasn't been able to produce any makeup bags lately, or whether it's because she's just stopped doing it. I'm not sure, but it's a shame. If she has stopped doing it, it'd be a shame, because it was like one of the appeals, personally, my opinion, of her brands and shopping with her brands. So to spend like hundreds of pounds literally every single launch and just get this, for me it's a bit like what. And I'm not just talking about Lisa Eldridge, just any brand. I always feel you guys could include something for free. It's not that hard just to say thank you for spending an enormous amount of money with your brand. But like I said in my last video, her customer service team did say that at some point they want to do some sort of loyal customer scheme, or I don't know whether it would be points, etc., but they are planning on doing something like that. So hopefully it comes into effect sooner rather than later for us loyal Lisa Eldridge followers. Last but not least, even if some brands aren't generous, I decided that even though I'm not a brand, I will do another giveaway. So I just like to give. I feel like I said this on my last post, I feel like giving is my love language. I have a very small following on Instagram and YouTube, but even so, those of you who follow me, I feel like you are so loyal and you have really supported me, and I'm always so thankful. So I like to give stuff away. So my latest giveaway, I did the Lisa Eldridge's Velveteen, where I gave all eight shades of the Velveteen to a lucky winner. Someone was chosen at random and the winner was selected. I currently still have a giveaway live, which is the Natasha Denona's I Need a Nude palette. So if you haven't entered that competition or that giveaway already, then that's all over on my Instagram page. Go find the post. I'll link it down below if it's easier, and there's still time to enter it. Why not? You never know. It's a random pick. You might get chosen. It won't cost you anything. So all the links for that will be down below. However, I decided that I would do another Lisa Eldridge giveaway, and this time it is all 6 shades of her seamless eye pencils. So I hope you will be excited for it. As per usual, I will include all the details on how to enter the giveaway very soon. I don't have an exact date in mind. Just keep an eye on my page as always, and I will announce it in a post and follow up with a story on how to enter very, very soon, probably in the next week or so. So keep an eye on it. So if you're not following me on Instagram, that's another good reason to follow me on Instagram. So yeah, I will give you the competition details very, very soon. So yeah, final thoughts. I've told you my initial long wear test wasn't great. I'm doing another one. I will do a check-in later on, as I said. Price wise, £24, I feel like it's very middle ground. It's not too expensive, it's not cheap. I will do a comparison video to another brand, and like I said earlier, if you can guess the brand, then please comment down below with which brand you think I'm going to compare her pencils to. And also personally, you know, I asked you, did you mind that it was a pencil or did you prefer it to be a twist up? What's your opinion on it? Personally, I'm a fan of the twist up, just because it means you don't need to carry a sharpener with you. It's a minor thing, it's really not that big a deal, but personally I prefer less faff, so I do prefer a twist up. But some of you may prefer the fact that it's a pencil, so let me know your thoughts again on that. And in terms of the color shades, what do you think of her 6 shades? Again, I'm going to be very honest, as I only can be, so please don't come at me or go for my throat. When I first swatched her 6 shades, minus Renaissance Gold and maybe Burnt Umber, the remaining 4 shades, which is Black Treacle, Ground Coffee, Cinder Smoke and Night Forest, I was surprised that they weren't brighter. So obviously Black Treacle, a matte black, Ground Coffee, a matte brown, dark brown. I feel like they're staples in any eyeliner collection. But in terms of the Night Forest and the Cinder Smoke, I think I would have preferred a slightly lighter shade. It honestly felt to me like 50 Shades of Dark. I just was like, okay, oh gosh, Black Treacle, really good deep color, really good black matte, okay, great, fantastic, staple. Ground Coffee, again, really staple color, matte cool toned staple eyeliner brown, great. Then I put Night Forest, and I was swatching, I was like, okay, unless you really look up close or really look into the natural light, it just looks like a black. Only when you put the shades next to each other you can see like the subtle differences and the nuances, but otherwise it was quite dark. So I was like, okay, well, what about Cinder Smoke? Oh, another very, very, very dark color that again could look like black. So yeah, it just felt very much like 50 Shades of Dark to me, but maybe you guys disagree, maybe you guys like that and that's a selling point for you. And the only differences were Burnt Umber, like a warm brown, and then Renaissance Gold, which is a beautiful color. But yeah, I don't know, I don't know what I expected. It's not that I'm disappointed, it was just unexpected for me. I just thought her colors would have more of an oomph and a pop, but maybe that's just me. What do you think, and what would you like as a new color, or the next color should I say, in her liner collection? What would you think is missing? I think I read a comment where someone mentioned a purple would have been ideal. You guys personally know that I'm not a purple fan. I personally would love to see some of the eyeliners from her, like, you know, her eyeshadow palettes, some colors from there. Like, they would just be gorgeous, insane. Like, I'd love to see even the liquid Lurex, the green color, I can't remember the name off the top of my head now. I'd love to see in that in a pencil form. Of course you can use it as a liner with a brush, but even some of the colors in her Sorcery palette I think would be absolutely stunning, because those are the shades that, again, you might disagree with me, I don't feel like they're very easy colors to wear during the day, like that kind of eye look. Great for a night out look, but you know, I don't feel like it's a day wear palette, all those shades together. But an easy way to wear that and an easy way to make that into a day wear color is to have it as an eyeliner, a statement eyeliner, because I think those colors are so rich and gorgeous. So yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. I have so many questions, as you can tell. Don't forget to keep an eye out on my Instagram for this giveaway. I hope you guys love it. As per usual, all my Lisa Eldridge videos from before will be linked down below, including everything that I'm wearing, from my earring, my bracelet, the shirt, which my other half burnt. It's only H&M, it's okay. And I've linked even that down below because I love it. He burnt it and I bought 3 more of the same shirt because I love it that much. Anyway, everything will be linked down below that's on my face. Let me know your thoughts on this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it useful as always. Thank you as always for watching, and I hope to see you on the next video. Take care. So as promised, I am doing a check-in. This is hours after I've done my video earlier and my eye makeup. I did go to the gym and you can see my eyes. Obviously, I guess going to the gym isn't an everyday occurrence. I guess it depends on your level of fitness and whether you enjoy that lifestyle. If it is and you have slightly oilier lids, it's something to consider. You guys saw that I prepped my eyes thoroughly before applying this eye makeup, and it's like this. To be honest, it's more the part of the eye where I applied it as a shadow, but you saw I put primer, I put powder, and it's literally come off on my crease. The liner seems to be kind of intact still. I deliberately didn't apply it in my upper waterline because that's what I did with black treacle yesterday. I put it in my waterline and I deliberately didn't do that today because I wanted to give it a fair chance and longevity test, I guess. But you can see it's in my crease, it's budged, it's smudged on top, it's literally transferred. Yes, I'm on the oilier side, and yes, I went to the gym, and yes, you know, London lately has had, you know, unusual hot weather, but my opinion, it's not budge proof, it's not transfer resistant or waterproof. So I might give it one more try where I just don't do anything. I just wear it for a day, I just don't do anything, I just work from home. But I don't know, I'd be more wary of wearing it, or maybe wary of wearing the darker colors, I'm not sure. I definitely wouldn't wear it as an eyeshadow. I would only wear it as a liner. I do think as a liner it's held out pretty well. So if you have oily eyelids, just be mindful of this. If you don't have oily eyelids and you're blessed with dry, non-moist lids, then it probably will be fine, and you know, you're very lucky. But yeah, there's something about my lids that it just doesn't agree with it. Yeah, I just wanted to check in as promised, and I hope you found this very helpful. Have a good evening and see you on the next video.